today I welded up the doors. Now you have two options. You could either weld them or you can chain them. I'm not going to go into the pros and cons of chaining or welding. I'm just going to leave it at I will always weld my doors closed until they no longer permit it. Now check your rules before you start welding, because some rules will not allow you to weld all the way around the door. They're going to give you 6 inches of weld and then 6 inches of space, 6 inches of weld, and so on. Our rules allow you to weld all the way around the door, and that's what I've done. Now before I even started welding, there's a few things that I did as precaution and just basic prep. Now first, my gas tank has a vent on it, so I covered the gas tank with a piece of rubber because it only takes one spark. It's not even worth skipping that step. Next, I grinded off all the paint around the perimeter of the door. That will give me good contact and better welds. Now what I used to weld this up was I've got a Lincoln 110, plugs into any standard household outlet. It's worked pretty well for me. It's gasless, and I use a 030 flux core wire, and it does the trick. It's messy. There's a lot of splatter and smoke and a little bit of extra cleanup, but I really like it because I can take it anywhere and plug it in and get the job done. It's perfect for in the pits. You know, you're working off a generator, you just plug it in and go. Anyways, there's a lot of different types of welders out there. That's just what I use and what I'm comfortable with. Okay, so it took me several years to figure this one out, but get yourself some long sleeves before you start welding. Put on some nice leather gloves and a welding helmet. So what I used as filler to weld up the doors was 5/16 rod. There's a lot of different things you can use as filler. You can use 1/4 inch rod, rebar. On one portion of the door I actually used the crank that came stock with the car for the tire jack. It happened to be 5/16 as well, and once I straightened it out, it was probably about 2.5 feet. So I ran the rod around the perimeter, welding it all up. Some places I didn't use rod at all. If there's like a 1/16 or an 1/8 inch of gap, I just weld it up without filler. Now on your window frames, in my opinion, it's not necessary to waste the wire and weld all the way around the window frame. I don't believe you're going to gain any structural integrity from this. In fact, a lot of people just run duct tape around there. I am going to weld it, but not all the way around. I'm actually going to take a 1/4 inch plate and put it right here at the top and weld around that. Then I'm going to put a weld here and a weld here. And that's it. That's all that I believe that's necessary. Some people beg to differ, but really, that's all I do. I've even taped them up a couple of times, and that works too. After I got it all welded up, since I am using the flux core and it's really messy, I took a wire brush to the whole thing and got all that soot and slag off, and I cleaned up pretty nicely. It was a little bit of extra work, but it works for me. On the gas door, I added 3 little welds just to hold it in place so it's not flapping around. You're not going to gain anything by welding all the way around that. Just get it to where it doesn't go anywhere. You can even take it off if you want to. But that's pretty much it for welding up the doors. What I do next episode really depends on if I get my torches back from Larry or not. One option I have is I'm gonna cut out the back portion behind the tire for clearance and in the front. Or I might be doing the exhaust system. I'm showing you how to cut that, where to cut it, and possibly even putting on the headers. So for those of you that already know what you're doing and are watching this video, if you disagree with anything that I'm doing, or if you have ideas for improvement, or just a different way of doing something, let me know about it and I'll discuss it on a different episode. And for the rookies, really, if you don't know how to weld, find somebody to weld for you. It really is the way to go. And let me know what you'd like to see if there's something that I'm not covering. So I guess that's it. So until next time,